Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex, not live. Let me explain. I'm doing something different. This is a pre recorded, I repeat, pre recorded Royal Sussex. It's an experiment. I'm not sure that I'm going to do this all the time, but I will likely do this in the future. So bear with me. Everything is the same except I will not um, have a chance to interact with you guys. I repeat, I will not be able to interact with you. So, anyway, let me know how this works out and let me get on with it. All right. This feels weird already because I'm so used to all of the direct communication back and forth. But I repeat, this is pre recorded. All right, so let me get on with it. Shall I? Shall we? See, I'm changing the language already. Usually I say, shall we? But shall I? Should I? Anyway, um, very awkward already. So the other thing is, I hope the sound holds out because I have been having trouble with my microphone. But as you can see, it is working. And well, anyway, I'm just going to get on with it and just do everything as though you're right here with me. Well, in a way, you are. So, thank you in advance, and let's make it do what it do. Okay. Well, that being said, Kate's absence. What in the world happened to Kate Middleton? How come she didn't show up at that white tie dinner? The one that features all of the diplomats, all of the ambassadors to the court of St. James. Where was Kate Middleton? She was conspicuously absent. Now, in the past, they would come up with some, oh, Kate had, I remember the time they said Kate was having childcare issues as though they don't have a team of people working for them. Well, in my opinion, I am going to allege that it has a lot to do with Camilla. That's right, Camilla Godzilla, Queen Consort Camilla. I think Camilla had something to do with it because Camilla had this mysterious chest infection, which may very well have happened, should I say. As a former smoker, she would be prone to such things. Okay, so not unheard of. I'm going to be very charitable with the Queen Consort and say, yes, if you were a former chain smoker, then things like bronchitis, COPD, and frequent chest infections, I think is all part and parcel of your possible future. Hopefully not. I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but that may be part of it. So, that being said, let me continue. I, Camilla is capable. Yeah, okay. I was going to say but I'm going to just go on and explain my rationale. Camilla is constantly giving people the death stare. Not that I'm saying she wishes harm on anyone, unless you're Prince Harry, and on occasion, Prince William, and definitely Princess Diana, would I say that you have any reason to be concerned about the death stare. But it is a very jarring look that she has. And on occasion, uh, she just happens to give people the look. She glances at people. It is part curiosity, and I would say part a devious nature. I think she's a very devious, deceitful person, always planning and scheming, and dare I say, quite often a step ahead. This is one of the classics, the one on the right side. The one on the left, I thought that was it, but I said, no, that is not it. It's the one on the right. That is the one I was looking for. And I can't help but think, what is going through her mind? What was she thinking when she was gazing upon that child, not with a nurturing disposition, but one of, I don't know, scheming, plotting? What is going on in her mind? It's hard to say. Kate seems oblivious to it. Or is Kate just thinking, God, I'm glad she ain't looking at me, poor kid? This is what I mean. This is what I mean. In those unguarded moments, it is enough to make your blood run cold. It is a look that seems as though it could stop a truck. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that that look has stopped the occasional truck or lorry, depending on where you are located. But yeah, it is it is something very sinister behind that gaze. I call these the witches of Windsor. The only thing is, I left one of them out. One of them have been left out, and of course, that would be Camilla. That is the other witch of Windsor. Camilla is not available for this photo because, well, Camilla has taken ill. Camilla happens to have taken ill and was unavailable because, again, it was the dreaded chest infection. But that wasn't going to last long, was it? One thing about those Windsor women, they tend to show up for the things that they really want to do, right? Some things they, this does not include Queen Elizabeth now. Queen Elizabeth would show up regardless of how committed she was to the occasion. If it was planned, if it was agreed upon, QE2 would show up. Camilla, I would say between Kate and Camilla, they're both very lazy people. Kate being the lazier, right? I'm just gonna say Kate is the laziest, most unproductive member of the royal family, bar none. The laziest. Followed by William. It's hard to believe, but Camilla, I believe Camilla actually outpaced William, right? Nearly double the age, but she manages to outpace him. So, right here, the reason why Princess Kate did not accompany Prince William to Tiara event at the palace. Now, that language right there lets you know that this is one of those occasions where Kate would prefer to be there, because any occasion where Kate Middleton is allowed to don the tiara, she wants to be there. Trust and believe, she wants to be there. But for some reason, she did not make it to this event. Why did she not make it to this event? I can't be for certain. I have no idea. But whatever the case may be, she was not there. I do have a theory, though. Let me try one more headline before I get into it, though. Okay, so take a look at this one. Kate Middleton misses Royal's glitziest night of the year despite gradual return to duty. The annual white tie and tiara event, the Diplomatic Corps reception, is set to take place at Buckingham Palace tonight with King Charles, Queen Camilla, the Queen Consort, and Prince William in attendance. But the Princess of Wales is understood to not be attending. Huh. I wonder what happened. Well, I would say I'm going to just go out on a limb and say the wicked, the very wicked, evil stepmother Prince Harry's wicked, evil stepmother. I'm going to say that that's probably the reason why. If I could wager anyone, I'm going to say it was Camilla. Camilla had the chest infection. She had some time away. She wasn't feeling well. I could believe that. I will buy that. However, I think the amount of time that she took off was considerably long. I could also believe that after going on that trip to the South Pacific to Australia and was it Fiji, I believe? Anyway, after taking that trip, she was probably tired. What listen, did she really have a chest infection? Who knows? Who knows? But I'm going to just assume that that is correct. She had a chest infection. But why would Kate miss this event? It seems as though she was told that your presence is not needed. Your presence is not welcome. I cannot prove it, but again, I am of the opinion, I am guessing that that is the reason why Kate was absent from this event because she was told to stay home. Your presence is not required. It seems as though Kate is being phased out. Now, I'm going to get into that a little bit more down the line, but let me just share some more things with you about the very strained relations between Kate and Camilla. Everything seems okay, but do you all remember that period of time where it was magazine after newspaper article after newspaper article? The new king and queen, the mom who will be queen, the next queen, king and queen, the new king and queen, preparing for the throne. Wait a minute. At the time, wasn't there two other people? One on the throne and one in the holding pattern? Meet the new queen, Queen Kate, king and queen. Kate prepares to be queen. Royal mom, future queen. Take the throne. Take the throne. And so on and so on and so on. I don't know who encouraged these magazines to write these articles, although I do have a bit of a suspicion, but it was in very poor taste. Whoever came up with the idea for these articles were really overreaching and very likely causing a bit of not anxiety, but perhaps a bit of anger, a possible bit of oh, bad blood, maybe bad blood. I don't think it went over very well. I don't know who would encourage such a thing. Who would use the unseen hand to encourage articles that almost dispossess Charles and Camilla of their rightful place as the next king and queen? I mean, there were definitely people that have done the polls in the past, and yes, there was a sentiment among the public that they should skip Charles and go directly to William. However, that would have been a big mistake because I'm pretty sure that everybody would agree that William was not ready. William is not ready. He was not ready, and he may never be ready to take the throne. That would likely be a huge mistake whenever it happens, but it's inevitable, so there's nothing you could do about it. But it's been a very tough year for Kate Middleton, a very tough year. If you recall, the book by Omid Scobie, known as the Endgame, came out some time ago. And oh, it's been almost a year. It has been almost a year. And Kate Middleton seemed to go into a downward spiral publicly and possibly privately. And it did start before the book. Don't get me wrong, it started before the book because there was a big announcement that there would be a royal divorce in 2024. It was though they were preparing us for the inevitable. And it was trending, and it was not coming from the Sussex squad. Yet, when Omid Scobie's book came out, it was the new Fab Four to action. They had to solidify their positions in the shrunk down, slim down, completely down monarchy. The slim down monarchy. They had to justify their position. So with Camilla, she asserted herself as the queen consort to be exact, Charles, the rightful king, William, the heir to the throne, and Kate Middleton. Well, according to Omid Scobie's book, Endgame, she was identified as one of two racists in the family. It doesn't matter about Charles because Charles was going to be king no matter what. But Kate's position within the family is not as certain. They could actually phase Kate out, and it appears as though she is being methodically and deliberately phased out of her role as the Princess of Wales, as well as the future queen. Her role, the scope of her role, seems to have become very limited, and it may become even smaller still in the future. That remains to be seen. Now, as I said, lazy Kate, one of the laziest human beings that have ever drawn a breath. Princess Kate added a last minute early years meeting to her schedule today. Why? In a pathetic, desperate bid to seem more relevant, especially during this period of time when people are questioning, are the royal family really good value for money? The answer is likely no, because at a $500 million a year, they rarely actually do any work for that. What they call work is what the aristocrats used to call the season. They have the season when they stayed in the country and they went from ball to ball, party to party. And then, of course, they had the other season when they were in their townhouses, when they were in their mansions in the city. So they had the season, and then they had the just the regular I'm rich and I don't have to work time sitting around. But Kate has turned it into a science, how to avoid work. How to avoid work. This has been a theme with Kate from day one. She has been the least productive member of the royal family year after year after year. Even when they said she was so athletic and loved sports, and yet she would not work. She could make it to the places she really wants to go, like Wimbledon, or to a diplomatic dinner where she gets to wear tiaras, but anything in between, she couldn't be bothered. So, one of my favorite content creators, Ministry of Hacks, he actually is the one who, shall I say, woke me up to this theory that Kate Middleton is, well, expendable, being phased out. Well, anyway, that's my words. I want to let you hear how he couched it so that you can get.
Morning, friends. Straight into it as usual. We now know that Kate may have been looking sad/tired on the balcony on Remembrance Sunday, which is where this image was taken, because on the Saturday, the day before, she was told in no uncertain terms that she would not be attending the biggest, most lavish, glitziest royal ball of the year, the white tie event, which of course happened this week in the UK. Do you think Kate was taken to one side in a private room with love, sympathy, and respect, and sat down and had a conversation about, Kate, look, you've not been really attending charity events, you're focusing on recovery. Some of the British public understand that because you've not been working. It wouldn't be right for you to be seen at this ball, etc., etc. You know, kindness and compassion as you would with any other human being. No, she was told by email. I wonder who the puppeteer behind the email was. Would their name start with Cam something? I think it probably would. We don't know that part. We just know she was told the day before and it was an email. Kate backed the wrong side. She made a choice when she married into that family, but she is still a human being. She still deserves respect from everybody around her, not because of her royal position, just because she's human. Facts are coming out, probably more leaks coming out on Twitter over the next week or so. Comments are open, guys. Let me know what you think.
Well, what I think is that someone told Kate,
"Hey, girl, sit down. Sit down. Sit down."
that's what I think. I think somebody said, "Hey, girl, sit down." They told her to sit down. And she did. She did. And there was no argument, there was no debate. Sit down. And that's exactly what happened. And because Kate is one of the laziest people that has ever drawn a breath, I get that there was some type of illness, but when you compare that to Queen Elizabeth working to the day before she died or 3 days before she died, I'm not buying this whole team of doctors that needs to be consulted every time Kate makes a school run. And I know I'm exaggerating, but that's kind of how they say it. Like there's a required consultation from a team of doctors. And if she's filling up to it, and if she's having a good day, which really flies in the face of people who actually are going through chemotherapy and still require a work day. They cannot afford to take off. They don't have a team of people caring for them and their children and their spouse. They don't have anyone running their errands, doing the shopping, the cooking, the cleaning, the driving. They don't have that. But Kate does. And the fact that William took time off right alongside her in the very beginning, I think that's also a scandal. I think that was really taking advantage of the situation, a situation where most people have to work, have to work. And that does bother me because, like so many older adults, I have been around for people with cancer. I have cared for people with cancer. I have cared for them up into their last breath. And I know what cancer treatment is. I know what it's like. I have not been through it, but I have been very, very, very close to it. And it looks very different from Kate Middleton's Herbal Essence commercials, right? Where she's walking through a field of grain. She's hopping up on a bale of hay. She's rolling in the sand, being kissed and caressed curiously and bizarrely by her husband in front of two children looking on and trying to keep their lunch down. It looks very different from that. So I think that perhaps these appearances will be limited. And at some point, I do believe there may be a punishment where they're taking things away from her that she really wants to do. I'm surprised that she went to the Wimbledon, but it seems to go to Wimbledon, she had to go to Troop in the Colors. There's something very strange about these arrangements. A seemingly healthy person that appears to be taking advantage of her situation, using it to the advantage. That's what it looks like to me. That is my opinion. And of course, what is Kate Middleton and her early years campaign going to do about this? More than more than 1 in 3 children in poverty as UK deprivation hits record high. Exclusive study finds almost quarter of UK population living in poverty, reaching the highest level this century. And of course, having a charitable organization, you would think that someone with a platform that vast would say something about it. But no, you would think someone with a platform as large as Kate Middleton, someone who should be a role model, would be more active involving herself with charities that have to do with cancer. That has not happened yet, which is why some people question, did she or did she not have cancer? I will not take the blame. I will not be accused or admonished for anything that I'm saying because this entire rollout of Kate Middleton's surgery, not cancer, then it's cancer, um, all of this has been very sloppy, and they have no one to blame but themselves. Kate holds secret meeting at Windsor Castle as she celebrates key event today. That was November the 20th. The Princess of Wales has marked World Children's Day today after holding a meeting on early years project. Why is it secret? Why is it secret? If you're going to motivate and encourage people to get involved with these charities, to contribute to these charities, why is it a secret? In early 2023, Kate launched the Shaping Us campaign. This project has been described as her life's work. Her life's work. And with all the resources that she has available, her life's work. You mean to tell me that it took until she was 40 years old, 41, 42 years old? It took her that long. I repeat, it took her that long to actually announce or launch this project. It took her until 2023. That's a life's work. That's really strange because Harry's life's work started 20 years ago. His life's work started 20 years ago. And all of this happened simultaneously while he was a working royal, taking these solo trips abroad, and a host of other things, including 10 years in the military. This project has been described as her life's work and is aimed at raising the profile of the crucial period of a child's development which stems from pregnancy up until the age of 5. Life's work. Life's work. I can't get over that. The tabloids, the cronies and the tabloids, they do not do these people a favor by using such ridiculous language, such implausible, impossible language to describe the events, the goals, the life mission, the life work. They're not doing these people any good, because that only begs the question, what took so long? You have a platform second to none. Just think what the Princess of Wales, Princess Diana, was able to do with her platform. And Diana was much younger when she entered that family, obviously, but she found her voice much sooner. Not that she had to, but because she wanted to. And then, of course, there was the night of the event. There's Charles. There's the Queen Consort. And back there, looking like some hobo that they just dressed up, there for the sake of I goes William. Or should I say, there goes for the sake of he goes William. William, who looks like he's on his last leg most days, he is dressed for the occasion, although unlike Charles, he's not wearing the knickers and he's not wearing the garter, which he really should, but he chooses to avoid anything that looks too traditional. Like, for instance, as the Prince of Wales, William has yet to wear a kilt when he goes up to Scotland, which I think is offensive to the people of Scotland. I think it's very insensitive. And this poor guy blowing the trumpet, I don't know why his eyes say, "Oh my God, I cannot believe it." His eyes say, "Are they real? Are these fossils? Are these cadavers? Oh no, dear God, that is the king and queen consort." Well, if he thinks they look bad, wait until William makes it through the threshold. See what I mean? Wait until William makes it through the threshold. And from that angle of the photo of William, that's probably what this guy, take a look on the right, see his eyes? That's probably the way it appeared to him. Poor guy. That's probably the way it appeared to him. And of course, I cannot prepare, nothing prepares me for Charles wearing something that looks like he's been hanging out with Little Debbie, the Little Debbie snack cakes. And for some reason, okay, it's not a Little Debbie snack cake slipper, but it's like the men's version of the Little Debbie snack cake slipper. So, yeah. All right. So Liz Jones says, this is, by the way, this is from December 2023, almost a year ago. Liz Jones says, Kate wore the ultimate revenge dress for the diplomats last night. Like Diana, she sent a message to the world that she will not be cowed. Who is she talking to? Who is Liz Jones speaking to? Who is she speaking to? I don't get it. First of all, Kate has worn that dress before. Second of all, the dress is dull. It is a very dull, very safe dress. There's nothing revenge about it. There's nothing vengeful about that. Who is she getting revenge upon? Now, yes, of course, this is during that period where Kate and Charles were accused of being racist because of Omid Scobie's book Spare. Who is she getting revenge on? I don't get it. I don't get the revenge part. Who are you getting revenge from? I mean, I could name names, but none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. And one thing that I would say is totally consistent with who's the racist in the royal family. There has been absolutely no denial. As a matter of fact, the royal family has yet to deny anything that Omid Scobie has written, that Harry has written, and of course, anything that was in the Harry and Meghan docuseries. They have yet to deny any of it. They have yet to set the record straight. Now, yes, I know they send the Royal Rota out to do their bidding, but they have no official statements whatsoever. Even the part about William attacking his brother, there has been no response. All for one and all for one for all for one. Um, this was the united front that they demonstrated to the world this time last year. And again, it was for that diplomatic white tie dinner, the one that Kate just missed, right? You can see how important it is to her. Look at how animated she is because that's one of those events to wear a tiara. And Kate does not miss a tiara event. But is it possible that Camilla told her she would not, could not, would not be able to wear a tiara this year? Was it just like the coronation? Which, by the way, women do usually wear their tiaras at the coronation, but Kate was not allowed to do so. Is it possible? Very unlikely, but is it possible that that was the case? Or was there a tiara that she wanted to wear and she was refused and she turned into a bitter Betty and stayed home? I wonder. I wonder. So, as I said, the so called revenge dress, revenge against who or whom, I have no idea. But the so called revenge dress, you see that? The Prince and Princess of Wales at Jordanian royal palace to celebrate the wedding of Jordan's Crown Prince Hussein bin Abdullah, married Saudi architect. You see that? She's wearing that dress. That same dress. She actually wore it to a wedding. So I ask you again, what revenge? I thought revenge meant you went out and bought a new dress, something that no one has seen before, and certainly something more daring than this, floor to ceiling sequin draperies that she's wearing. Surely something more exciting than that. A middle bum tail. This is the other part of my theory. If you recall, Kate wore that very daring red outfit to greet the president of South Korea. Garish. I thought it was garish. Take a look here. She exits the vehicle, in my opinion, in the most vulgar manner, showing way too much flesh. Now, of course, the tabloid media, which is in the royal family's pocket, did not make a fuss about it. We can only imagine how much scrutiny it would have cost the Duchess of Sussex to show up appearing so bizarrely underdressed. Yes, she's wearing this big coat that just seems to only touch her on the shoulders, a big swing coat or cloak, whatever it is. That's not a problem. But emerging from one of the state Bentleys showing that much flesh, that is a problem. I have purchased packs of chicken and brought them home and thawed them and cleaned them. And I couldn't say that I saw that much flesh. But that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of chicken legs. I feel like I need to go and preheat the grease or preheat the oven because I just remembered I got some chicken thought. I keep looking in the kitchen. I keep looking at the sink because I keep thinking I got some chicken thawing, but I don't. I would be facing the other direction if that's the case. But I look over there, I don't see anything. I'm looking in the opposite direction, and it's Kate emerging from the state Bentley. I think that is very tasteless, distasteful. It is very distasteful. But she got away with it because that's Catherine the Great. And if you take a look here, one of the squaddies said, Kate Middleton going back to her flashing roots. Now that's how you welcome world leaders, right? That's how you welcome the president of South Korea. I kind of thought South Korea, they were a little more modest than that, but maybe Kate didn't get the memo. But you know what they say, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Like mother, like daughter. Maybe maybe the maybe they I don't know, that part of her upbringing, I was going to say maybe that part of her upbringing, she didn't actually learn how to step out of a vehicle. But then again, I could be talking about either one of them. I could be talking about either one of them. Why am I pointing this out? Because if this was Meghan, we all know that there would be a campaign of nothing but hate and hostility against the Duchess of Sussex and references to her not understanding her role and this is beneath her. Mm. And to be fair, at this point, I don't believe Kate was married into the family. But as you're auditioning for the job, I think this was a bit over the top. Yes, I know 10 years is a long time to wait for someone to ask the question, but I still believe that this is inappropriate at any age. And of course, what I am angling at is that it seems as though she was punished for that almost immediately. Now, I don't know who takes care of the seating chart. I don't know who decides who sits where. I know for Queen Elizabeth, it was not um, the prince consort, Prince Philip. The queen handled the seating arrangements herself. She would actually go to the dining room and she would review the plans firsthand. I'm going to assume that the queen consort is the one who decides where everyone takes their seat. I do believe this is the first time that has ever happened to Kate Middleton. Remember what a joke it was, how funny it was. Oh, Meghan's at a funeral and there's a big candle in front of her. Oh, Harry's at the coronation and there's a big feather in front of him. Ha 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 ha. Kate is at a state dinner with the president of South Korea, who I say was disrespected with the way she emerged from the vehicle to greet him. But look at that. Look at that. It seems as though somebody arranged for her to, well, I think they made a movie about it. Beyond the Candelabra. Yeah. The original movie featured Liberace, but the reimagined remake features Kate Middleton. That's right. Kate Middlebum. Royal Sussex presents Behind the Candelabra, starring Kate Middleton, and Willie Leaks Windsor. uh, I think it was an appropriate punishment. I do. I believe it was an appropriate punishment. If you don't know how to conduct yourself greeting a world leader, then you probably should have a seat behind the candelabra.
Hey, girl, sit down.
Yes, sit down.
Sit down. Sit down.
Yep, if you don't know how to conduct yourself, then you probably belong behind the candelabra. Bon appetit. Another thing that I thought was very disrespectful, while William was in Singapore, it seems as though someone back in the United Kingdom was seeking attention. Now, she has an honorary position in the military. What is it, Colonel something? Anyway, it, in my opinion, it showed a complete lack of respect for her position, for her role, to show up wearing what appears to be Lululemon yoga pants. That would have never happened if Queen Elizabeth was still alive. She shows up to do maneuvers. She was inside of a tank wearing what appears to be yoga pants. That is grossly inappropriate, especially prancing around all of those men. And there was nothing said about it. And I'm going to say it again. If that was Meghan, we never would have heard the end of it. We would have never heard the end of this. They would have gone on and on and on about it. But because it's Kate, there was nothing to say about it. As a matter of fact, they didn't even say that it was cute or interesting. They just did not say. They did not say. They preferred to just ignore it. But I do believe that this was attention seeking. I think, I feel, I believe that because William refused to take her on his earth flop thing, that she decided to get her revenge by wearing these, what appears to be Lululemon yoga pants. Very disrespectful. I don't know how she got away with that. I really don't. I don't get that that was okay. Certainly not my call, but that was pretty tacky. Very tacky. And again, there was nothing said about it. This would have been one of those situations where the deranged followers of Kate Middleton would have gone on about this over and over again. But instead, there nothing said, nothing done. So I feel obliged to point these things out because I think it is indicative of the constant abuse that the Sussexes have suffered by at the hands of the tabloid media in comparison to Will and Kate. It's always a constant theme. Kate and William good, Harry and Meghan bad. Kate and William good, Harry and Meghan bad. So I am I have my feelings about it, and I just feel obliged whenever possible that I'm going to point these things out. I'm going to point these things out because it's not fair, and somebody needs to say something. Someone needs to say something, and that someone, I guess it has to be me. uh, oh well. Well, I think what I'm going to do, since I brought it up, I may as well show you the video, shouldn't I? May as well just show you the video. Like they say, the proof is in the pudding, right? The proof is in the pudding. Very strange, very bizarre. You judge. Like I said, very strange, very bizarre. So, this is what I believe is the reason or reasons why Kate was conspicuously absent. You judge for yourself. And with that, I'm going to bid a fond farewell. Thank you for joining me with this experiment, and I will see you all later.